I'm Dr. Joe Esposito, and welcome to our podcast, For the Health of It. Remember to subscribe to our podcasts, and I'll help you naturally get well and stay well.
The information presented on this program is not intended to take the place of your personal physician's advice, and it is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Discuss this information with your own physician or healthcare provider to determine what is right for you.
Are you suffering needlessly? Dr. Joe can give you advice on how to naturally get well and stay well. Dr. Joe Esposito.
We're going to talk now about how to stop wasting time, because this is an issue. And I know you think, well, Dr. Joe, you're the nutrition guy, you're the chiropractic guy, you're the pain management guy, you're the orthopedic guy. You can talk about wasting time? Yeah, because this affects your health. And so many of us are wasting time, and we're not getting the things done that we need to do to stay healthy. But here's what's going to happen. And I'm going to put this in the Dr. Joe Was Right column in a few months. And that's a big column, by the way. I've been doing this for a long time. What's going to happen is life is going to get back to normal, whatever that normal is, okay, or a normal. And some of us are still going to be stuck in the sitting around, laying on the couch, not socializing, not going out mode. Those people are going to be left behind. Because some of us, or some of you, hopefully you're going to listen, are going to be healthy. You're going to be come out of the blocks hard. And you're going to have so much energy, and you're going to have a plan that now where things used to be hard for you and struggles are going to be so much easier. Because society as a whole, I believe, is going to be left behind. They're going to be sitting around not being able to shift gears. So I'm going to teach you some things that I want you to consider doing, because these are the things I do. And believe me, they work very well, and Garrett does them as well too. And I've always learned that the happy, I was going to say successful people, but the happy people are the ones that have a plan. They have goals in mind. So the first thing I want you to do is get the big picture for both your work and your home life. What do you think that's going to look like? I did an interview the other day for a new employee, and we were talking about job description. And she said, Dr. Joe, you've done it all. You know, number one health radio show in the country, podcast, books, supplements. You've seen tens of thousands of people. Everyone likes you. Everybody turns to you, including other hospitals and doctors, for advice. You've pretty much reached the pinnacle in healthcare. What's next? And I said, I'm not even close to being where I want to be. Because I think that the whole world needs to know what you're hearing right now about natural health care. I think the whole world needs to go to our website, drjoe.com, and download the podcasts. And if you have a podcast service, the podcast is called Dr. Joe For the Health of It. And if we had people doing something simple, like just taking vitamin D, especially during the winter, take 5 drops of Dr. Joe's vitamin D. That's going to help the immune system. Taking the minimum supplements like Dr. Joe's Super Greens and Dr. Joe's Essential Source. It would change dramatically the picture, the landscape of healthcare that's out there. Because so many people are so depleted in nutrients that giving them just a little bit is going to dramatically change their lives. So Super Greens, Essential Source, and vitamin D. That would be a goal. Getting the word out on how to get well, that's my goal. And so I've got a lot further to go, but I want you to think about, what is your goals? What does work look like when things turn back to normal? What does family look like when it turns back to normal? You might want to find a better work-life balance. Get more exercise. Be more involved with your children's after-school projects and programs. Once you know where you are, you can break them down to smaller tasks. So this is life coaching here. So think about, what's it going to look like day one when everything turns back to normal. I want to travel. I'm going nuts. I'm biting at the bit, man. I want to go on vacation. I want to go on a cruise. I want to go out and visit my friends like in California. I want to get out and do things. So I've already had in my mind a master plan as to what my life's going to look like when this all turns back to normal. And keep track. It can help you to take a week or so and note how long it takes you to get things done. Now, I've never understood how people say, well, Tuesday is laundry day. I'm going to do laundry on Tuesday. Because when I have laundry, I run out to the my washer dryer, and just throw it in the washer dryer and it's done. So I never understood how you plan a whole day around laundry, but some people do. How long does it take you in the morning? Do an analysis. I was talking to a high schooler the other day, and she said, I got to get up an hour and a half early if I'm on a Zoom call for classes, because I got to do my hair and my makeup. She goes, but I don't have to worry about my clothes so much, just my shirt. I thought, okay, that's kind of funny. A bunch of high school kids are sitting around in their underwear, their shorts, taking classes now, which is a whole new paradigm. But she figured out that it takes her X amount of minutes to be ready to get out. She goes, if I sleep late, if I lay in bed too long, then I can't have breakfast. Then I can't take my supplements. Then I can't whatever. So you need to figure it all out. Most people overestimate how long it takes to do simple things like take a shower and underestimate bigger tasks like homework. Of course, for children, it'll be homework. If you know exactly how much time you spend, you're going to be able to manage it better. So lay it all out. I know in the morning, I like to get up 2 hours before I leave for work. Because when I get up in the morning, I like to lay in bed for a few minutes. I enjoy that. And so, okay, if I want to have that moment, I got to get up 2 hours early to lay in bed for 15 or 20 minutes. I almost always pack my own lunch. So I know I have to plan ahead. Now, if there's a time when I won't have time to make lunch, I'll do it the night before. I'll lay everything out on my kitchen counter, lay out my supplements, my super greens, my essential source. I got my supplement. I've got little pill boxes that I have for all my supplements laid out. So I know if I'm in a rush or if I'm going to be, if I maybe have to stop and get gas in the morning, or if I have to have a meeting early or something like that, I got to plan all that out. So start thinking about this, because when you start getting back to normal, it's going to be really difficult to start doing these things that you got so used to for a year or so. So lay it all out. Put to-dos into 4 groups: urgent and important, not urgent but important, urgent but not important, and neither urgent or important. So urgent, again, has to be done right away. Important means it has to be done, but maybe not right away. So your goal is to have a few things of urgent and important as possible. Those are the things that take priority. Those cause the stress when they pile up. If you manage your time well, you're probably going to spend most of your time on not urgent but important. So what's important? Laundry is important. It's not urgent. I have enough clothes that I can go a couple of days and use other clothes. So it's important, but it's not urgent. If I have to get to work and start seeing patients at 8:30 in the morning, that's urgent and important. So start to prioritize what your life looks like and schedule your day. I find it amazing that we now have computers, and my phone is my calendar. And whenever I do anything, I break out my phone. What do I got? Well, I got this, and this. And then I can plan days in advance. So start thinking about that. So again, you're thinking to yourself, Dr. Joe, you're the health guru. What does this have to do with health? Because this is mental health. And this is the one thing that nobody's really talking about. I'm seeing patients come to me all the time, depressed, anxious, sad, antisocial, teenagers now. Big issues with teenagers. Suicide rates are very high among people because they don't have the life they used to have. Teenagers, I feel it's really important. It's time to socialize. It's time to learn how to interact, how to have an argument, how to have a crush. All these things, you learn this, and these kids aren't getting the opportunity to do this. And so you, if you're an adult, need to take this opportunity to start planning these things out so that their lives can be better too. If you don't have teenagers in your life, you got the same problems. You're not being social, you're not interacting, and you need to be able to start doing that. So schedule your day. Are you more likely to do yard work if you have a chunk of time to do it, or spread it out over the course of a week? So I know weekends in the springtime, I love doing yard work. I'll get out there, and many times I have to force myself to stop because I'll work until the point I'm exhausted. And that's not a good place to be. So do you like to go out in the morning and pull a few weeds? Or do you want to take a Saturday and just do it all at once? Whatever works best for you is fine. And don't be afraid to change things up. Try it. You know, in my house, I have figs, blueberries, raspberries. I'm going to have tomatoes, cucumbers. I've got 2 big gardens. So I know that if I get up in the morning, I like to pick blueberries and have fresh blueberries or figs. I've got to plan that into my day. So I know that this gives me pleasure to be out in the morning and have the fresh fruit. How do I work that into my day? Because in the past, sometimes I'd let things get overwhelming to me, and then I wouldn't go out and pick the figs, and the birds eat them. Now, again, this is, I know, first world problems, I know. But I didn't have the pleasure of having the fresh fruit in the morning. So just start planning these things out and do the hard stuff first. Mark Twain said, if it's your job to eat a frog, it's best to do that first thing in the morning. And if it's your job to eat 2 frogs, it's best to eat the biggest one first. It's kind of an odd analogy there Mark Twain made, but get the hard ones out of the way. Knock out the big projects. You're going to find it's a lot easier. And here's the key. When it comes to scheduling, write things down. Had a meeting with Damon, my office manager, the other day. We're sitting there talking, And I said, okay, you know what, Damon, I'm going to handle that. I got it. And I didn't have to write it down because I knew it was only one thing. By the end of the conversation, I looked at Damon and I said, what was that one thing I was going to do? Couldn't remember. So luckily, as I'm walking down the stairs, it hit me. I said, oh, that's right. I got to talk to Justin. I got to ask him this and this and this. Write things down. My favorite thing to do for mental health and sanity are sticky notes. I love sticky notes. And there's new ones out, which I just discovered not long ago. They got stickiness all the way across the back. I love these things. They are in my car. They are next to my bed. They are in my kitchen. They are in my office. I have them everywhere. I'm looking at them right now at the desk in front of me. There's some sticky notes all over the place. These things, I believe, are a lifesaver. These are the things that are going to change society. Because when you have a thought, okay, write it down. If you don't, you're going to forget it. That's not good for your mental health. Because then you start thinking, what was I going to do? What did Garrett tell me to do? What did I tell Damon I was going to do? And it starts racing through your head, and you can't remember it. Now, some people use their phones, but even Garrett, who's, half my age, less than half my age, I finally got him hooked on sticky notes too, because sometimes your phone is there. Garrett's my producer, by the way, if you don't know who Garrett is, if you're new to the show. And you get the sticky note, you write things down, and then you remember it. And I personally have gotten to the point where I really enjoy throwing the sticky note away. When I write something down and it's done, I love that crunkled up feeling to throw it in the trash. So again, we're talking today about saving time, and one of the things that wastes so much time is you're thinking about what you had to do. And then your brain is being occupied and you can't get to the next thought. So write things down. If you like making grocery lists, make a grocery list. I have a calendar, like I said, on my phone, on my computer, but I have to look and say, okay, what do I got planned? Okay, because of that, I can do this. So some days I actually get to sleep in a little later. I can plan to sleep in a little later. And that's kind of nice. I have something to look forward to. That's the key. You need something to look forward to. The biggest problem we're seeing with people being in lockdown, especially in senior housing, is there's not an end in sight. When am I going to see my family again? When am I going to see? I miss one of my relatives. Haven't seen her in a long time because I can't travel. And I miss her. And you wonder, when is that going to happen? When is that end in sight? So having things to look forward to is really, really, really important for mental health. But these seniors have nothing to look forward to. And a lot of them, if I speak to them, they come as patients, they'll even say, this is the highlight of my day. I love coming to see you, Dr. Joe, or, Dr. Irwin, or Dr. Kat, or Dr. Amy, Dr. Martini, because this is the highlight of my day. It gives me something to look forward to. So writing things down, and then you could say, what do I got next week? Oh, that's right. I'm going out to dinner with such and such, or I got a meeting with such and such. Even if it's a Zoom meeting, it gives you something to get excited about. And when you write things down, that helps tremendously. And then also, when things start getting back to normal, I'm going to play this show, by the way, when things get back to normal, you're going to say, Dr. Joe was right. He was psychic. Remember the big picture. What's worth your time? Is it really that important? And if the answer is no, don't worry about it. Don't sweat the little things. And so maybe you used to be somebody who took care of everybody. Maybe you have what's called a caretaker personality, which is a great personality, by the way. Caretaker personality, you want to take care of everybody and everything. That can be exhausting on your health. I'm so busy taking care of everybody else's problems, I don't have time to take care of myself. And so start to think about that. What can I do to take care of myself? And that's where health comes in. So you see, this all ties together. Not wasting time. That's going to give you more time to do things, but you also have to taking care of your health in there. So one thing good that's come out of this big lockdown is people have slowed down. And I'm happy to see that, but I want you to now utilize your time more efficiently. There was a time when I just didn't have time to do anything, and I got nothing done. And then when you do slow down, you're going to be amazed. That's why vacations are really important. Taking time off to reboot, you're going to get a lot more done when you come back. So it's important, and I know I'm guilty of this as everybody else. Sometimes my one secretary, Kayla, she'll yell at me. She'll say, you know what, I'm not letting you in the office tomorrow. And I said, yeah, but. She goes, no, I don't want to hear yeah, buts. She goes, you've been putting in 7 and 8 day weeks. You need to take a day off. And she'll make me. She says, I'll change your schedule around. I did it already. You have no say in it. And I'm like, she's right. So we all need a coach. We all need a life coach to kind of pull us through these things and say, all right, what's going to be priority? What's important? And don't cheat. If you set up a schedule and you have a work set, you got to be to work at 8:30, be to work at 8:30, not 8:45. And if you don't do it, that's shame on you, and you need to have that focus, that responsibility in your life. Missing one start time is going to make everything else start to back up a little bit. So what I do with my supplements, for example, I take my supplements first thing in the morning. When I wake up, I get out of bed, I go into my kitchen, I take Super Greens and Essential Source. Again, that's the minimum supplements that I think everybody should be taking every day. Super Greens and Essential Source are 2 powders, a scoop of each. They taste great. I mix mine with coconut milk or almond milk. I just shake it up in a small jar and I drink it. That starts my day. Then I have my supplements. I take several supplements. We customize supplement plans for all our patients. So we'll sit down with you and say, okay, what are your concerns? So Garrett, for example, is younger than me. He has, Garrett's my producer, he has different nutritional needs than I have. And so we customize plans for each and every one of us. But the minimum supplements you should be taking, again, are Super Greens, Essential Source, and at least vitamin D, especially until the sun is out for long periods of time and you can get out in the sun and make your own vitamin D. Vitamin D is so important for brain function, for immune function, for bone function. It's probably the least expensive insurance policy you'll ever buy. So Super Green Essential Source Vitamin D, minimum supplements, they're all on the website, drjoe.com. Now, you can order them, we'll ship them to you, or you can come pick them up. We have offices in Marietta, Duluth, Stockbridge, and West Cobb. So I have everything laid out very simple and easy, so I know when I get out of bed, it's all going to happen. Because I don't want to miss my supplements. That's the thing that gets me going. Some people get up and have coffee. But here's what's going to happen. If you start taking care of yourself and eating the right foods and getting chiropractic care, dealing with pain issues, chances are you're not going to need so many outside stimulants. Countless patients over the years said, Dr. Joe, I've given up my coffee. Why? Because I'm taking Super Greens, Essential Source. I have so much energy now. Another supplement as we get older could be nitric oxide. And I take that every day. Nitric oxide opens up your blood vessels and increases circulation throughout the body. So the only time I would say be careful with nitric oxide is if you have low blood pressure. If you have high blood pressure, I'll give you a warning too. Nitric oxide opens up your blood vessels and that can lower your blood pressure. So if you're taking Dr. Joe's nitric oxide support and blood pressure medication, monitor your blood pressure. If it gets too low, you got to give up either supplements or the medication. Of course, you got to make that decision. I think I know what that decision is already. So I take nitric oxide, amazing bursts of energy. So be careful with it. I can't take it at night. I can't sleep. So I get a lot more done when I'm healthy than if I'm sick. And so I want to stay as healthy as I possibly can. If you have pain, neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, numbness, tingling, headaches, restless leg syndrome, chances are that's a pinched nerve. And the most effective, least expensive treatment for pinched nerves is chiropractic care. Let me say that again. Most effective, least expensive treatment for something that plagues about 80% of the society. So why don't you start with chiropractic care and see how we do? If it doesn't solve the problem, in most cases it does, we have a medical department in our offices, and we can send you to a medical doctor. Maybe you need medication. Maybe you need anti-inflammatories. Maybe you need injections. We have something called PRP. PRP is platelet-rich plasma. We take your blood, spin it down in a centrifuge, and take out what's called the platelets. The platelets are the growth factors. We can take these growth factors and re-inject them back into the body to stimulate new growth. Arthritic knees, arthritic feet, any type of arthritis, really, PRP is wonderful for in most cases. If there's an autoimmune condition, we might want to do something like exosomes. Exosomes are the part of the stem cells in the body that are the active parts. We've seen amazing results with shaking, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's. Many times we see some great results taking the PRP and or the exosomes and working with it that way. So there's so many things that you can be doing to get well, but you don't know it. I didn't know it until I learned about it. I've been in practice 36 years. I've missed a half a day of work in 36 years. And every single day I'm learning something new, a new treatment, a new therapy, a new combination of supplements, a new food combination that's going to help me get well, and then you can get well too. And so that's the plan, is to try to get you well as quickly as possible. If you do want to make an appointment, go to our website, drjoe.com, drjoe.com. We have offices in Marietta, Duluth, Stockbridge, and West Cobb. That's Georgia, by the way, because I realize this show goes all over the world. And people are saying, what state are you in? Georgia. And if you're out of state, we have patients fly in all the time to see us. But we can get you set up for an appointment as quickly as possible. And we accept most insurances, car accidents, sports injuries. If you've ever been in a car accident, if the car was damaged, you were damaged 100% of the time. So you need to get to see us as quickly as humanly possible. Again, we accept most insurances, Medicare. We want to be your doctors. The initial visit is normally $375. We've reduced that to $199. That's not going to go on for very much longer. So that's an exam, x-rays, consultation, first adjustment, going over the x-rays on the next visit, putting together a treatment plan for you, and a nutrition evaluation. Now, here's the thing. There's going to be need for more care. If we start the treatment, you're going to need more than one visit. So don't think you're going to come in once and be healed. It's not going to happen. It's going to take some time. Not long, but it's going to take some time. So again, if you want to make an appointment, drjoe.com. We're more than happy to get that set up for you as quickly as possible. So again, the website has over 1,500 hours of podcasts too. So the way you use the website is this. Type in what you're looking for in a search engine. Okay, there's a little search bar. Hit enter. Chances are we've done a show, we've done an article, we've done a podcast on it. Watch it or listen to it, whatever you like. And then if you still have questions, feel free to send us the question. Right through the website. One of us will get back to you as quickly as possible. If you're a podcast junkie, I want you to go to your podcast service and look up Dr. Joe for the health of it. DRJOE for the health of it. We have a huge following in our podcasts, and you can get like nonstop Dr. Joe hour after hour after hour if that's what you're really looking for. And a lot of people love it. Doctors use it. I have schools, universities, grammar schools, high schools use these shows for teaching tools. Because I'll get an email from a kid, Dr. Joe, you said such and such. And I'm like, well, when did I say that? And they say, oh, my teacher, we play your shows in our classes all the time. So it's really good information that we try to share with you so that you can get well and stay well. And so today we're talking about, are you wasting time? And one of the things that you're wasting time with is if you're not healthy. If you're not healthy, you're wasting your lifetime. And that's not good. I want to keep you around as long as humanly possible. And it's not hard if you have a normally functioning nervous system, normally functioning digestive system, and good nutrition. Again, when we come out of this mess, this pandemic, I want you to be healthy and hitting the ground as quickly as possible. Another thing that wastes time is email and social media. Now, you should be following us on social media. Our handle is at Dr. Joe Esposito. That's at Dr. Joe Esposito, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And we post good information. But I know with social media, looking at it, I don't care what somebody's cat did. I don't care what you had for lunch. Now, if it's something important about food, hey, this is a vegan, gluten-free meal and you can make this at home, then I'm interested. Okay, but be careful and limit the amount of time you spend on social media and even emails. If it doesn't concern you, delete it. And you could also unsubscribe or just block that person. If it's something that's urgent or something that has to be done quickly, respond to it. Delegate it. I get emails all the time. It may not be something I do, but I'll send it to Garrett. I'll send it to Damon. These are my coworkers. I'll send it to one of my other doctors. Dr. Amy is our clinic director, and let them handle it because I can't do it all. And then defer things. Maybe it's not something you need to do right away. You can put a little flag on it and go back to it. And also what I want you to do is schedule some good stuff. When you come out of this whole mess, again, hit the ground running, but schedule some good things. Schedule little getaways, staycations, trips to something near you that you've never seen or done before. Time with friends. Maybe just going for a walk. I like waterfalls. I love finding new waterfalls and hiking waterfalls. So find something that you like and do it because that's good for mental health. And if you have good mental health, you have good physical health. So folks, again, if you want to make an appointment, drjoe.com. We have over 1,500 hours of podcasts there. Or call us. And when you call us, my staff will be more than happy to explain to you what it takes to become a patient. Our job, we want to naturally get you well and keep you well. Folks, again, thanks for tuning in. Tell your friends about the show. I'm Dr. Joe Esposito, drjoe.com. We'll catch you soon. Thanks for listening to For the Health of It. Remember to subscribe to this podcast, and I'll help you naturally get well and stay well. You can also listen to and call into my radio show live Sunday evenings from 7 to 9 Eastern Time on WSBRadio.com and on a WSB Radio app.